Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. Today I'm going to be setting up next week in my A5 Common Planner. I believe we are on week 25, which is almost halfway through the year totally in terms of weeks, which is very, very exciting. I am going to be doing a dashboard style layout. I found that just really has been working for me lately, and I want to continue on with that. So I'm just going to pick a color. I'll do brown. And I'm going to start kind of drawing out these sections for my dashboard in a way. Lately, I've been having a lot of fun using my fountain pens for various tasks, and I typically like to use them for drawing my lines and my spreads versus using a ballpoint pen or a pencil, just because I find it adds just more color to the page. And if I'm being honest, I'm a very colorful person. The only thing is I don't know if I have figured out the perfect way that I want to lay out my dashboard style spreads yet. I'm really trying my best to do a combination of everything in all of my planners into one book. It has been a long time dream of mine to someday be able to fit everything into one book, but in reality, every time I have tried, I either get very burned out, overwhelmed, or just can't really maintain putting all of the things into one space. So I end up with multiple books kind of categorizing what I want. But I'm hoping that by doing this dashboard style layout and finding a way to make it just the ultimate everything spread, I will eventually get to that point where I could possibly have one book to rule them all. Next, I'm going to go ahead and label out where my titles are. So my top section is for events. This will be anything from, errands to actual appointments, pretty much anything that involves me needing to schedule out time out of my day to go do it. That's not a task, if that makes sense, but an actual place. The next section is workouts. This is where I've been keeping track of my mileage I need to run for my 10K training, and also my gym workouts, which I have still been slacking on, big surprise. And then next is meals, and then my cleaning section. For meals, I've just been keeping track of the same thing I put in my health planner, which makes me think that I may eventually be able to combine my health planner into my main planner, which is very exciting. And then for cleaning, it just helps me kind of delegate what days I need to clean what around my house. And then for the bottom section, I have a category for personal tasks and tracking, home and garden tasks and tracking, a section for the books or book I'm currently reading that week, and then a little section of rating my week 1 out of 5 stars, and then a place to write down my happy moment. All of this is me trying to pull from other books in my system, and again, try to make this more of a one book to rule them all kind of situation. I'm really trying to embrace the freedom of this common planner, since a lot of the spread is very neutral and the back pages are also empty to do whatever I want in. Ultimately, I'm really just trying to test the waters to see if I even could do a one book kind of system. Before I do anything else, I'm going to decorate. So I have a couple of clippings from London Gifties. I can't really decide if I want to do both of them or if I just want to do one. I don't really have a preference, if I'm being honest, although I'm kind of leaning more towards this little camping scenery just because I'm hoping to go on a hike this week. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with the camping scenery, so I'm just going to cut this out really quick. And I think I'm going to put some washi behind it. I've been trying to use the same washi throughout the month, so I have one thing that's consistent, and I kind of like how it pulls the different spreads together, I'm not gonna lie, because it's it's all cohesive within 1 month, and I can tell it's within that same month based on this washi, which is, I don't know, it's kind of fun. Okay, now let's actually do some planning. Actually, wait, no. I'm going to use one of my 5-star rating stickers. I sell these in my shop. I have them on matte and clear paper. And I'm just going to stick this under my Rate My Week section just so I have a little 5-star rating. You could always draw on the stars. Since I make the stickers and have them, I want to use them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plan out some things now. I'm going to start with my events. I don't have a whole lot going on. I know on Tuesday I want to go to Costco just to kind of get our monthly run out of the way. And then on Thursday or Friday is the day we are going to go camping. I'm going to probably say it's going to be Thursday though, because the weather, which I'll get to in a minute. And I'm going to say or hike because if it's really hot, we'll probably just do a hike instead of camp, because camping when it's really hot outside is not a fun experience. Friday we'll likely have some sort of date night. Don't know what yet, but I'll just write that in. And that's pretty much all the events that I have for myself at the moment. Actually, wait, I think we have a concert. Okay, so yeah, there might be a concert on Friday. I put a question mark. So yeah, I'm still gonna leave it blank the way it is. Okay, and then for workouts, I'm going to reference my little calendar thing. This is a notepad from the Coffee Monsters Co. I've written out my 10K run training on it just because my race is in July, and this just helps me stay on top of the mileage I need to get done. And with that, Monday I have 5 miles to do, and then if we go to the gym it will be a back day, and then 4 miles, 6 miles, 3 miles, and 7 miles, just for the rest of the numbers that I'm doing for the week. So total miles this week would be 25, and because of that, the gym sessions will likely be shorter, but I'm still going to write them down. And Monday's back day, Tuesday's chest day, Wednesday's leg day, and then that kind of split, if you will, repeats after that. So I just kind of rotate muscle groups so I'm not overworking anything in one particular area. I say this as if I've been going to the gym. I haven't been, so this is just an intentional writing down. I want to focus mainly on the running just because that is more training for the race, and then I can always focus on the gym afterwards, but ideally I would love to be able to do both, so I'm going to plan to do both. For the meal section, I'm going to just leave that blank for now because I will fill that out as the days pass. Just like, here's an example of last week where I wrote down everything that I was eating in that day, but I am going to go ahead and fill out my cleaning routine. So I basically just break down, like I said, day by day of what I want to clean in my house. It just helps me be a little bit more organized in what I need to get done, so I'm not just putting way too much on one day, or like not enough on other days. It just helps space out what I'm trying to clean in my house. The only thing that's really consistent with my cleaning schedule is doing the dishes every day and then laundry a couple of times a week. Other than that, I just kind of split up the different rooms or spaces really in my house to clean. Some rooms are a little bit larger, so I just clean like part of that room one day and the next part another day, just to help, again, balance it out. Okay, so now I want to set up my little personal reading, or not my personal reading, my personal section over here. So I'm just going to make a very small habit tracker. So I'm just going to start over here with Sunday and move backwards. And then the tasks I'm going to keep track of are the same ones I kept track of last week. So reading, Spanish, walking, meditation, eating vegetarian, and then making sure I'm putting my moisturizer on. And then I'm going to create kind of a to-do list of random things that I need to work on next week. I need to set up a piece of equipment, and then I need to get our one of our cars cleaned because we take that car to the park with the dogs when we go run. And it's just full of dog hair, if I'm being honest. And then I still need to get an oil change. I haven't done that, and it's been on my list for a while, so I probably should get that really done this week. And then I also want to schedule a dentist appointment. And then for my home and garden section, I'm going to make another small tracker. This has just really been helpful to kind of see everything I'm getting done on a daily basis. And I know I've talked about my garden planner and the struggles I've been having with it. And I think it's mainly to do with just everything I'm doing right now is very repetitive. And by repetitive, I mean I'm basically watering the garden, pulling stuff off that's ready between produce wise, and then making sure everything is, you know, staying on top of bugs and weeding and all of that kind of good stuff. I don't really have anything to quote unquote plan at the moment. I'm just kind of waiting for enough produce of different vegetables or fruits, really, mainly vegetables though, just so I can get ready to start preserving like my tomato sauce. And then I also want to make pickles this year, so I just need to wait for those plants to kind of finish. The only downside to kind of where I'm at with my garden though is that it's been really, really hot, so a lot of my plants are just being a lot slower to grow. Even though we're getting lots of rain, the sun is just like beating them down. So I'm trying to decide if I want to set up shade cloth. That would be the only thing that I'm thinking could save some of my plants, but I haven't made that pass yet. I'm waiting, which may be a bad thing, but we shall see, because everything's still doing fine. It's just growing a little bit slower, so we shall see. The other thing I'm going to do here in the home and garden section is similar to the personal section. I'm just going to make a little short to-do list of what I want to get done for the garden this week. And that primarily involves mowing grass because, again, like I said, it's been really hot and we've had lots of rain, so grass is growing beautifully, of course. So I need to mow the front and the back. And then my boyfriend is trying to set up an automatic watering system for our poultry, our chickens and ducks. So I may have to assist him with the build of that depending on how extravagant it gets. We did get some totes, so we'll see how that kind of turns out. And then I also need to work on clearing our path/walkway that we have in our back property. It's just getting really, really overgrown, again, because of all the rain and the heat. And I also want to work on maybe doing something with mosquito repellent there. I haven't really decided yet though. And then the last thing that I'm really going to, I guess, set up for this is my currently reading section. I have been reading the same book for a few weeks now, and that is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. It's been really slow to start, and I think because of the way the previous book ended, Heir of Fire, I was just not excited to start this one because two of the characters that I think are really great together separated. I'm not going to say any spoilers, but I'm working through it. I haven't made it past part 1 of the book yet. It's kind of been a struggle, but I'm hoping to move further into it. It depends on my motivation to read it at this point. Okay, I'm gonna leave this like this. I know this looks really plain, but I like kind of going in throughout the week and just adding bits and pieces that I feel are necessary. So I'm gonna move on into the daily pages and kind of set those up on how I want to kind of use those. One thing I did want to talk about again with the back pages here is I was still feeling really burned out this month so far. I haven't made any new changes of to like how I'm working on the burnout. I'm still doing the pre-planning the week of pages in advance, and that has helped. I just still feel a little unmotivated at times. And since this book is getting a little chunky, I am going to take it out of the cover and I'm going to flip it back in on itself. So if you've never seen this done before, you basically take a section of pages here. We'll just use this week because I didn't really do a lot. And you fold the spine in on itself like this. This is one of the features that I loved about the 𝗬𝗏𝗎𝐺𝐵 cousin, and I'm very grateful that I can also do it with the common planner because this just makes it a more flat surface to write on. One thing that I have noticed that I'm not a huge fan of with the 𝗦𝘃𝗫, by the way. I know this is totally a sidebar, but I got the 𝗊 for my memory keeping, and I can't fold this back on itself. I have to elevate one side with another book, which is not very fun. So I think if I ever go back to 𝗦𝘃𝗫, I would definitely go with the regular planner again, just because I think the hardback is a great idea, but when you have a fluffy book, it's not the best idea. Anyways, I'm going to be using these stickers from my shop again. These are the dates script. This is the June version, and we will be using the next week worth of stickers, which will be June 17th through, I believe it's the 23rd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And just doing a week in advance has been really quite helpful. If you didn't want to use stickers and you had like a date stamp, you could easily do that, or you could handwrite the dates. That works too. I personally find it's just easy to use stickers since I already have them, and also because I'm going to be doing enough writing as it is on the day. I think I have learned about myself that having dated back pages is something I really want. So if I were to ever get another book that doesn't have dated back pages, I would likely set up the whole year in advance of daily pages, which sounds like a lot, but if you're doing it all at once at the beginning of the year, I think you'd be totally fine. I've also been putting my weekends on one page because I don't really have much to write on the weekends. And if I do, I have that page after, since I haven't set up anything after this. But that is pretty much the beginning of the setup of these pages. After that, I'm just going to take a fountain pen. This is probably one of my favorite fountain pens right now. And this is the Pilot Vanishing Point Taiwan 30th edition. I made a whole video on this. Anyways, I'm just going to write down the date of the week next to my date sticker. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. Didn't realize I was out of frame. Sorry. Okay, so then the last thing that I'm going to do in the back pages is kind of a holiday / moon phase thing. So going to the monthly section, which is in a weird spot because the book slipped on itself. So the 20th, so the 19th is Juneteenth. So let me start with that one here. And I'm just going to take a black brush letter marker here, and I'm just going to letter out Juneteenth. And I've been doing this recently because I find it fun to look up history about the holiday, and I write like a little blurb about the holiday underneath it. I don't know, it's just kind of fun. And then for the 20th, that was another holiday. Okay, so the 20th is the beginning of the summer solstice, otherwise known as 𝗬𝘃. So I am going to write down 𝗬𝘃. And I'm going to write underneath it summer solstice. Crazy that we're already at the beginnings of summer. And I'm just going to put a piece of paper in between these two because the Pentel brush pen that I'm using is very juicy and it tends to like to smudge if I leave it wet on this paper. What was I doing next? And then, okay, the 21st is the full moon. And it is the strawberry full moon, which is kind of fun. So I'm just going to write strawberry. And then above it, I'm going to write full, and then moon underneath it. And again, I've just really been enjoying like having a little breakdown of like the history of the different holidays and moon phases and like why it's named the strawberry moon. And it's just a fun little exercise that I've been doing for myself. Anyways, that is pretty much it for setting up my week for week 25 of 2024, which is absolutely wild. that we are so far into the year already. I feel like time is just flying by. Man, it's just, like I said, absolutely wild. Anyways, if you have any questions about anything I used in the video or anything that I didn't talk about while I was doing it, just let me know down in the comments. But for now, I want to thank you so much for joining, for hanging out with me for a little bit while I planned out my week. I hope you have a good week yourself. Enjoy the summer weather we are having, at least if you're in the Western Hemisphere, Western Northern Hemisphere, Texas, wherever you are, or just enjoy whatever weather you're having. Anyways, thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.